making big. You know why? Because the insurance companies are making a fortune because they have control of the politicians, of course, with the exception of the politicians on the stage. But they have total control of the politicians. They're making a fortune. Get rid of the artificial lines, and you will have yourself great plans. And then we have to take care of the people that can't take care of themselves, and I will do that through a different system.
The interesting thing about that is that right after that happened, this happened. It's been called the Donald Trump dog pile.
Newsflash.
I know. Hold on, Senator Paul.
Newsflash. The Republican Party's been fighting against a single-payer system for a decade. So I think you're on the wrong side of this if you're still arguing for a single-payer system.
I don't think you heard me. You're having a hard time tonight.
All right. Mr. Trump, it's not just your past support for single-payer health care. You've also supported a host of other liberal policies. You've also donated to several Democratic candidates, Hillary Clinton included, Nancy Pelosi. You explained away those donations, saying you did that to get business-related favors. And you said recently, quote, when you give, they do whatever the hell you want them to do.
You better believe it.
So what specifically did they do?
If I ask them, if I need them, most of the people on this stage I've given to, just so you understand. A lot of money.
Not me.
Not me. Well, you're welcome to give me a check, Donald, if you like.
Many of them.
Actually, to be clear,
That's
he
right.
supported Charlie Crist.
Not Mike.
Hey, Charlie,
but I have.
Donald, if you end the campaign, I hope you will give to me.
That's John Kasich.
Sounds good to me, Governor. I will tell you that our system is broken. I give to many people. Before 2 months ago, I was a businessman. I give to everybody. When they call, I give. And you know what? When I need something from them, 2 years later, 3 years later, I call them. They are there for me. And that's a broken system.
So what'd you get from Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi?
Well, I'll tell you what. With Hillary Clinton, I said, be at my wedding, and she came to my wedding. You know why? She had no choice because I gave. I gave to a foundation that, frankly, that foundation is supposed to do good. I didn't know her money would be used on private jets going all over the world. It was.
So there you go. So pretty good. So what are your thoughts? Give us a call. 866-660-5759. I see you, Sharon. You too, Daniel. Don't go anywhere. We got more of the Wells Report as we cover the second Republican nominee debate here on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Football season is almost here. But wait, don't start daydreaming of all the afternoons camped in front of your TV watching God's sport just yet. Hear me for 1 second. Football's great, and living in Texas means you probably played it growing up. But I bet you didn't know that some kids don't have the chance like you did to play real competitive football. Kids in homeschool and private schools don't have the same opportunities to strap on the helmet. There are even some kids who just need a second chance at hitting the field. And that's why there's TACA, T-A-C-A, which is short for the Texas Alliance of Christian Athletes. Do you have a kid or know of a kid who's in this situation? If so, then go to freeminicamps.com today and register them for TACA's absolutely free football camp. Great athletes and Christ-centered coaching is what TACA is built on. Let your child grow on the field and off with TACA and its free minicamps. That's freeminicamps.com today. That's freeminicamps.com today. Hurry, because camp is right around the corner, so go to freeminicamps.com right now.
We're speaking with Craig Powers, president of Power Jack Foundation Repair. And Craig, look, there's that big yellow thing in the sky.
That's right, Steve. It looks like the sun is out and we're finally in for one of our hot Texas summers. I have customers calling me all the time saying, Craig, what do I do now after all these rains? And I tell them, get your foundation inspected now. As the soils dry out, foundations are going to start to move again. You want to catch it now before the problem gets worse, because now it'll be less expensive and less extensive to fix the problem.
So, Craig, are you saying that as the heat continues and the ground dries out, that your foundation problems, if you have any, they could get worse and worse?
Yes, that's correct. I wish I had a magic pill to make foundations stop moving, but unfortunately I don't. So now is the time to get it checked.
So give Craig a call today. Check it out before it becomes a bigger problem. Power Jack Foundation Repair, all of their work is guaranteed for the life of your home. Give them a call today, 866-638-PJFR. That's 866-638-7537, or go to PJFR.com.
Tell me something. How's your back? Do you have neck pain? Hi, I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC with Genesis Back and Neck, and I want you to know something. There's help out there for you.
My name is Steve.
I'm Debbie.
and we've been married for 40 years.
I was a high school football coach, and you can imagine the hits I took over the years.
And I coached and taught PE for 37 years, and it took a toll on me as well.
Both of us were in pretty bad shape physically, so my wife tried spinal decompression, and it was like a miracle.
So much so that I talked him into going.
Dr. Chad pretty much saved me.
We're both active again and walking again. We didn't think that was ever going to happen.
You don't have to live with pain.
There is an answer, and it's Genesis Back and Neck.
At Genesis Back and Neck, we really do love our patients. And hearing stories like this just blesses us. Please stop hurting and call me. 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922 or online at genesisback.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with the Reliant Air Conditioning Consumer Update. Today's topic is the sales technician. Most companies use their service techs to sell new equipment on service calls, and the more equipment they sell, the more commission they make. But would you buy a new car from your mechanic? The fact is, the guy you're trusting to repair your system actually makes more money if he can sell you a new one. At Reliant Air Conditioning, you get a certified service technician, not a salesman. Our techs don't work on commission, and they don't sell equipment. If you need a new system, we're the only company in town that tells you to get 2 other bids and then call us. Now you can save over $3,500 per system with Carrier's Cool Cash. So call 2 other companies, get their price, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
If you're retired or retiring soon and not happy with your investment strategy or the advice you've been given, I want to invite you to get a free second opinion. This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show. To register for a free financial portfolio review, go to moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net.
Ken was quoted in MarketWatch. Clients had followed his advice were out of the stock market for all of 2008. Register at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. Daniel, welcome to the show. Good to have you here.
Hey, how you doing, JD?
Good, man. Just trying to cover the story. Boy, has it been busy.
Yeah, it has. I typically vote Democrat.
Yeah.
But I must say, compared to 2012, you guys look a lot stronger this year.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because we have more than one candidate.
Well, I had several candidates in 2012.
Yeah, but the Republican leadership wanted Mitt Romney, and they got him. But this is better because we got enough candidates. Everybody's there, man. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I looked into it. I watched it from the beginning to end. So I try to see who looks presidential and who resonated with with America.
Sure.
And I will say this: Trump, he sunk himself, in my opinion. When I say so, he didn't do well. I think Chris Christie and may have helped himself out. I think Rand Paul may have helped himself out.
Those two together really did well for each other.
Yeah, I mean they contrast their beliefs, and that's what America's looking for.
Hey, listen, Daniel, can you hang on?
Sure.
Okay, because I want to hear the rest of this. By the way, in case you don't know it, Daniel is a Democrat. He's an Obama supporter, and he is one of the real Democrats that I love talking to because he tells it from his side of the story without all the progressive liberal propaganda most times. And he's going to finish up talking to us and tell us who he thinks won tonight's debate. Next, this is the Wells Report.
The Mark Davis Show.
So, how did debate night work out for you? I have my observations about high points, low points, who helped themselves, who did not. But starting at 5 a.m. on Morning in America for Friday, I'll have audio and analysis from guests, but the thing I crave the most is you. Did you have your opinions cemented or maybe changed by debate night? 5 to 8 nationally, 8 to 10 locally. Find me in there somewhere.
The Mark Davis Show, weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM. The Answer.
You've been thinking about switching to solar. Don't wait much longer or you'll miss out on this year's federal tax credit. Move quickly because the tide is turning. Solar power is becoming a threat to big energy profits. In fact, some power companies are even pushing for extra fees to make up for lost revenue. Warning, you must have your solar system up and running by midnight December 31st or you'll miss out on this year's federal tax credit. Energy prices are expected to increase by as much as 40% in the near future. Go solar now with no down payment, interest, or payments for a whole year. You can afford it because we finance. Get your government money and save big every month. Big Energy is getting nervous and the door of opportunity is about to slam shut. Paying $150 a month or more on energy bills? Then call 1-800-MY-SOLAR now for a free in-home assessment. 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
My home, my savings, 1-800-MY-SOLAR.
I'm Steve Sidkowski, a former Wall Street insider. I'm holding a book that will show you investing strategies which could help you earn the kind of money you've always dreamed about. And right now, I'm giving this book away for free. So who needs to read it? If you're in the middle of your career and worry you'll never have enough money to retire, you need to read this book. If you're already retired and your income isn't enough, you need to read this book. And if you don't want to be selling burgers at 80, you need to read this free book. It includes the strategy I use to make a 72% profit on a trade where the stock only moved 12%. You'll need at least $1 million to ever fully retire. If you're behind on that goal, you really need to read Trade Like the Pros. And you can for free by calling 1-800-708-4557. Skeptical that it will deliver results? It's a free book, so what do you have to lose? Find out how at 1-800-708-4557. 1-800-708-4557.
They came, they talked, they conquered. Hi, okay, wait. They came, they came, they talked, they debated. We're talking about the Republicans as they gathered in Cleveland and let's see. Let me try. How do you like that so far? They came, they talked, they debated. On the next edition of the Wells Report, we go completely through the Republican debates of yesterday. Just exactly who won, who lost, who's going to move to the big stage, who's going to move to the small one. We'll cover everything there is to know about the Republican debates from yesterday on the next edition of the Wells Report. Do not miss it. Mark Davis, what an amazing set of debates last night, and we covered them like a blanket on the Wells Report, and we're going to do it again tonight. Who won? Who's going to move to the big stage? Who lost? Who's going to move to the small stage? Who's going to stay with the campaign, and who's going to call it quits? We'll cover all the possibilities with you tonight on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. Don't miss it.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
20 plus years of unemployment. That's what retirement is or should be, but imagine still working when you're 75 because you didn't have an exit plan for the next stock market crash. If you think your current plan has too much risk, listen to Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Sundays at 11 a.m. on 660 AM The Answer. Rick and Kevin will tell you the truth about the financial world we live in. No one knows when the next correction will be. So listen to Plain Talk No Worries with Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Sundays at 11 a.m. on 660 AM The Answer.
This is Michael Medved for townhall.com. As Republican candidates prepare for their first televised debate, they should avoid the temptations of anger and negativity. It's true that rage merchants can grab headlines and make temporary gains in the polls, and it's also true that the angriest candidate, Donald Trump, is the current frontrunner. But in November, the people won't elect someone just to express their wrath. They will choose instead a candidate who credibly offers to make things better. There's no candidate in history who ever won the presidency based on rage. Certainly, after 7 years of Obama's misrule, there are reasons for frustration, even despair. And at a time when 2/3 think we're on the wrong track, indignation is appropriate. But the best response is pointing to the right track, not simply hollering about the wretched state of things. Successful politicians have embraced the title Happy Warrior. A grumpy warrior can get headlines, but won't win national elections. I'm Michael Medved.
Learn more at townhallreview.com. There was a lot to love about your timeshare. Now that it's time to get out, there's a lot to love about resortrelease.com. Resortrelease.com helps timeshare owners terminate their contracts and end all future payments, guaranteed. If you've tried to sell your timeshare, you know how impossible it can feel. But our 100% guarantee lets you legally and permanently walk away or you pay nothing. Resort Release holds a Better Business Bureau A+ rating. We're the only timeshare cancellation company in the nation with their prestigious accreditation. 2016's maintenance fees are on the way. Talk to one of ResortRelease.com's expert asset managers before that bill arrives. 800-281-9595. That's 800-281-9595. Experience ResortRelease.com's easy cancellation process and free yourself from the burden of that timeshare. Call 800-281-9595 or visit ResortRelease.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. We're always concerned about heart disease and cancer, and we should be. You ever hear those stories about the first sign that somebody had of heart problems when they died of a heart attack? The first evidence of any kind of cancer was after it was too big to be operable. Early detection is everything. Information is power, and honestly, sometimes information is survival. This is what Viascan of Las Colinas is all about. Viascan of Las Colinas. My friend John Duncan and the gang with the body scan, the well-view scan, they call it, all the vital organs there between the shoulder and the pelvis, making sure there's no heart plaques or blockages, no little cancer spots that could rise up and take you down. This is affordable, preventive healthcare. It is not uncomfortable. It is not claustrophobic. It's fantastic. I love it, and I love the information. It's good to know what's going on inside your body. Be Viascan certain. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
We've talked before, and it's great to talk to you again. Let me ask you a question. When you're going to those other breakfast places, are they making stuff in-house? You should ask them. Because at the Crossroads Diner, well, we make a lot of things in-house. You might ask, what? Well, let me help you. Well, there's the sticky buns, our homemade pancake mix, our whole wheat pancake mix, biscuits made in-house, sauces made from scratch, jams and jellies, our chorizo, Italian sausage, our quiche. I could go on, but really, you just need to ask the other guys, are they doing that? Because I don't think they are, but know that we are.
Come eat with us. We're off of Walnut Hill, just east of 75. Open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit us on the web at crossroads-diner.com. Home-style goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
Geico applauds your inner happy camper.
A merit badge of awesomeness goes out to the part of you that wants to put the recreation in recreational vehicle. The part of you that packs up everything and everybody in the RV and says, let's get this show on the road. Because Geico has specialized agents who help save money on more than just car insurance. Geico will insure that entire RV, so you can get the s'more making, poison ivy dodging, same song singing, ghost storytelling, campfire building, best time you ever had with your family show on the road.
Geico for your RV. See how much you could save.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells, and the debate was tonight, and we are covering it like a blanket. We have more sound to play from the debates. We're going to get to that in just a couple of seconds. We need your calls. Tell us who won this debate. Toll free from anywhere, 866-660-5759. Call us and tell us who you think won the debate tonight. All right? We had Daniel from Mansfield, Texas. Daniel's a friend of the Wells Report, friend of mine too, by the way. He is a Democrat. He's an Obama supporter, but actually he actually gets it. He's not being swept away in the craziness of the progressives and the liberals. Daniel, once again, thanks very much for listening. And by the way, good for you for watching the debate.
Oh, I have to. You have to be informed.
Got to be informed, man. You never know. You see, that's one of the things I tell my friends. You know, when the Democrats have their turn, you got to watch them. You gotta pay attention to what's going on. These people are one of these people that we're going to see in these debates is going to lead this nation. You better have some idea who that is. Go ahead.
Exactly.
So start over. Tell us what you thought. Just start completely over.
I think the governors showed up real well. I think that Jeb Bush, out of the governors, probably finished last out of the governors. I think Kasich did a good job, and I think Christie really helped himself. Out of all those guys, he really helped himself.
Well, we got to see the real Christie without him being such a jerk. He still was pugnacious. He was still in the fight. He wasn't playing games, and he was direct and blunt. And I thought he came across pretty well.
Yeah, and those guys have a record to put, in front of the American public and say, "This is what I've done during my tenure as governor." So I think that helped him out a lot. I think Bush he was on the defensive, trying to defend his brother record, and that really is going to hurt him.
Yeah, he's going to have to do some more of that too.
Yeah, and I think Rand Paul really set himself apart from the other guys as well.
Right.
And Marco Rubio did a good job. Now Ted Cruz, he just Ted Cruz, and you may love him. He just Ted Cruz to me. He didn't do anything to hurt himself, but he didn't really stand out in my opinion.
Talk to me about the number one governor. Who did the best?
Who did the best?
Who did the best as the governors?
I think Kasich is an interesting guy because he got in so late and people still are wondering about him, and he is the governor of Ohio, so he's going to come in with a great advantage. I think Christie, again, helped himself because he came in kind of low, and I think Bush really, I think he's going to struggle.
Yeah, he is, and because he's got a lot of things to take care of here. Talk to me a little bit. Did you see the early debate too?
No, I didn't get a chance to see that one.
Okay, all right. I wish you could have heard our coverage. Rick Perry did a pretty darn good job. Carly Fiorina hit the ball out of the park.
I heard, and it's good because she doesn't have anything to lose, and she can just let it rip. I heard her when she's been on Fox Sunday shows. And
sure.
She's pretty strong.
She is. She's really strong. And, this is not something I'll ask you about because it's a Republican inside game, but if the Republicans don't figure out that they have very talented female politicians, you know what? You guys are going to be leading this nation for a century.
Well, see, I really don't want that. I think America is at its best when you have your best qualified people attempting to gain the highest office of the land, and we make each other better when we challenge each other. And we really do need a strong Republican Party to move this country forward.
Yep.
A lot of those ideas those guys were presenting, I can live with a flat tax rate. I can live with strong military. But you got to tell me if you want a strong military, how you want to procure a strong military. We're going to tax, who we're going to tax. So it's like Trump, he's up there, he's throwing out ideas, but he's not supporting this idea with substantial policies. He's just throwing out ideas. That's going to hurt him in the long run.
Daniel, listen, man, I appreciate your perspective. Anybody on that stage tonight that you could vote for?
I'm a Rand Paul guy. I think the governors did well. I think, again, the governors did well. Marco Rubio, he stood out. Ben Carson, I think he didn't get an opportunity to present his ideas. And to be honest with you, Ben Carson will be a neophyte. He needs to go ahead and sharpen up his tools and be more prepared.
I think he's going to be the world's greatest Surgeon General. I think he will. I think he'll be the world's greatest Surgeon General. That would give him a chance to get in the groove, and then run later.
I couldn't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
So again, hey, I'll let you know this year you guys have a legitimate chance. Again, the Trumps of the world, I don't think Trump has a chance of winning because you guys have some talented people up there. I didn't want to say politicians, but talented people up there. So let's see what happens the next few months.
Indeed. One last thing. What about Mike Huckabee? You say anything to you that got your attention?
Mike Huckabee. To be honest with you, I think I know enough about Mike Huckabee. He's one of the I guess he's in the Bush category where you see him so much, you kind of like it's like a meal you already know you had before, and it tastes the same. You want a different flavor.
I got you. All right, brother. Listen, thanks very much. Great call as always. I really enjoy your time here.
Take care.
Take care, man. Daniel, Democrat, good guy, gets it. 100% gets it. And all of us, whenever Daniel calls, we may not agree, but you got to listen. That's just the way that works. Let me get to Steve and Rosser. We'll get back to some of the coverage of the debate and what they had to say. Steve, what did you hear tonight?
I'll be honest with you. I've been catching as much as possible. I'm gonna have to go home and watch it all.
Right.
So I can actually get an informative decision here. But I am a Ted Cruz guy, and I heard some snippets from him that I really like. But what I've been trying to do is figure out what the overall effect that Donald Trump has had, on the political process lately. And I heard it explained to me today that he's like what Tiger Woods was to golf. Donald Trump is to politics at this point.
Yep.
In other words, he brings a base. Well, there was a base in it that watched golf, but when Tiger Woods hit the scene, people that never would watch golf before started watching and paying attention, and that's been a good thing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Donald Trump tells everybody there's something worth watching, and that is whether he gets the nomination or not. And something tells me that he's doing exactly what he wanted to do for the Republican Party. What he wanted to do was shake it up, draw some attention to it, get people out of their comfort zone and make them think. And I think he should do it and follow it as far as it goes. I think what he's doing is good for American politics, not just Republican politics, American politics. And it's good for him, by the way, to be challenged by some intellects that are at least on par with his own. Being a CEO is different than being a national leader. A CEO can make decisions that he thinks are the best. Well, now he's in the company of people that are as sharp as he is, just in a different way. And this will be good for Donald Trump, too. Daniel just said it best. Competition is the crucible of excellence. And that's what we're seeing. Mike Huckabee talked about the size of government tonight, had a great answer on this. Listen.
The problem is we have a Wall Street to Washington axis of power that has controlled the political climate. The donor class feeds the political class who does the dance that the donor class wants. And the result is federal government keeps getting bigger. Every person on this stage who has been a governor will tell you that the biggest fight they had was not the other party, wasn't even the legislature. It was the federal government who continually put mandates on the states that we had to suck up and pay for. And the fact is there are a lot of things happening at the federal level that are absolutely beyond the jurisdiction of the Constitution. This is power that should be shifted back to the states, whether it's the EPA. There is no role at the federal level for the Department of Education. And I'm still one who says that we can get rid of the Internal Revenue Service if we would pass the fair tax, which is a tax on consumption, rather than a tax on people's income, and move power back where the founders believed it should have been all along.
That was a superb answer, right up to where he started talking about the fair tax. I'm a flat tax guy. I want to protect sales taxes for the states. Okay? The federal government should have a very, very simple, very straightforward, very small tax that everybody pays. They'd have more money. Everybody would have more money. And I believe that what you need to do is you need to make sure that the states are funded, or at least get a substantial portion of their funding from sales tax. That's a wonderful division of taxation, and it should stay that way. Okay? When you talk about a fair tax, you're talking about a tax on a product that's going to hit 30%. Nobody's going to pay a 30% sales tax for anything. It will have a crushing effect on the economy, but that's another story for another day. Common Core, federal involvement in America's schools. This is something that Jeb Bush, boy, I know he was asked this for a reason, but this could be the trap that snares him. This is what he has
to say. I don't believe the federal government should be involved in the creation of standards directly or indirectly, the creation of curriculum or content. That is clearly a state responsibility. I'm for higher standards, measured in an intellectually honest way, with abundant school choice, ending social promotion. And I know how to do this because as governor of the state of Florida, I created the first statewide voucher program in the country, the second statewide voucher program in the country, and the third statewide voucher program in the country. And we had rising student achievement across the board because high standards, robust accountability, ending social promotion in third grade, real school choice across the board, challenging the teachers union and beating them is the way to go. And Florida's low-income kids had the greatest gains inside the country. Our graduation rate improved by 50%. That's what I'm for.
Okay, but you still got to explain why you support Common Core. And he's going to have real trouble with that because that doesn't sound like a guy who supports Common Core to me. That sounds like a guy that supports states' rights for education, which is where it has to be. Education is taken care of best, most effectively at the lowest possible level. 866-660-5759. We are giving you first coverage of the debate. You're going to hear a lot of these sound bites tomorrow from other people. Maybe some of them will come from the beautifully gifted editorial hands of Ms. Vicky Stifer, who's put all this stuff together. And by the way, you are sending these down to everybody, right? Yes. She's fantastic. Magic Matt Swinney is married to her. Man, you are one lucky SOB, buddy. Just saying. 866-660-5759. Who do you think won the debate? There is one answer, and it may sound trite, but the United States of America won in this debate. In both of them. I believe that what we saw tonight, and maybe you can tell me what you think. I believe that what we saw tonight is worth adding another hour or two and putting everybody on stage. Don't you think? I mean, there was nothing wrong with this broadcast. This was good television. It was well done. There was enough stuff there for people to talk about for days. And I don't think that cutting anybody out of a discussion of American policy helps anybody. We all need to know what these people are thinking. We all need to know what they believe. We all need to hear what their ideas are. We need to debate them. We need to consider them. And if we like them enough, we need to vote for them. There is no reason whatsoever that we should, for any way, shape, or form, limit what these people have to say. Do you agree? Disagree? 866-660-5759. This is the Wells Report.
Sean Hannity believes the establishment GOP is the reason why Donald Trump has risen in the polls.
That's what this has become, a weak and timid and visionless Washington Republican establishment. And it's now hit a tipping point. Dovetails perfectly into an analysis of why you see the meteoric rise of Donald Trump.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Each week and every Saturday afternoon, whether you're remodeling an existing house or building a new one, doing it yourself or hiring a professional, we're here to bring you interviews with the experts and take your phone calls. And we bring it to you with a little green, whether it be energy efficiency or organic products for your house. So join us each week for a little House Talk Today.
House Talk Today, Saturday afternoon from 1 to 3 on 660 AM. The Answer.
At Arizona State University, we believe in giving you everything you need to learn to thrive. So it's good to know the experts and college reviewers agree. U.S. News & World Report names ASU the second most innovative school in the country. The Wall Street Journal says ASU is 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. The esteemed Princeton Review ranks ASU in the top 15% of America's four-year colleges as a leader in undergrad education. This is a university that empowers you to truly thrive. Arizona State University Online gives you the exact same curriculum, identical degree, and access to the same prestigious faculty as on-campus students. You can choose from over 100 degree programs, all enhanced by our innovative online learning technologies. For more information, call 1-800-600-6431. U.S. News & World Report ranked us in the top 10 for earning an online degree. All these high marks should give you confidence in your big plans. Learn to thrive with ASU Online. Call 1-800-600-6431. That's 1-800-600-6431.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day Lately, I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, abacusfoundationrepair.com, and saw that they have an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair.
How much of your life are you losing because of pain? Staying up at night because you can't sleep, sitting on the sidelines as life moves around you. I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC at Genesis Back and Neck, and I really do want to give you your life back.
My name is Debbie, and spinal decompression saved my life. I was unable to function at work. I didn't think I'd make it to retirement, and after going through his procedure, I feel like I have my life back. Genesis has an amazing staff. They really do care about their patients. I cannot recommend them highly enough.
I love stories like that. Spinal decompression is safe. It's FDA cleared. It's not painful, and it has a huge success rate. At Genesis, we accept most major insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. Please stop hurting and call me. 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922 or online at genesisback.com.
The holiday concert of the year is returning to Dallas December 6th at American Airlines Center. Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops together again on stage performing holiday classics. Dallas's newest holiday tradition will fill American Airlines Center with the holiday spirit. Sunday, December 6th, Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops at American Airlines Center. Tickets on sale now online at Ticketmaster.com by calling 800-745-3000 or at the American Airlines Center box office.
If you're retired or retiring soon and not happy with your investment strategy or the advice you've been given, I want to invite you to get a free second opinion. This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show. To register for a free financial portfolio review, go to moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net.
Ken was quoted in MarketWatch. Clients that followed his advice were out of the stock market for all of 2008. Register at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report, a daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. There were a couple of allusions, ALLUSIONS, to Hillary Clinton. John Kasich debunked Hillary's talking points about her supporting the rich. Listen to this.
Well, let's start off with my father being a mailman, so I understand the concerns of all the folks across this country, some of whom have trouble, making ends meet. But I think she will come in a narrow way. The nominee of this party, if they're going to win, has got to come at it in a big way, which is pro-growth, which is balancing budgets. We were talking about it. People were saying, could we do it? I was the chairman of the budget committee and the lead architect the last time it happened in Washington. And when we did it, we had great economic growth. We cut taxes and we had a big surplus. Economic growth is the key. Economic growth is the key to everything. But once you have economic growth, it is important that we reach out to people who live in the shadows, the people who don't seem to ever think they get a fair deal. And that includes people in our minority community. That includes people who feel as though they don't have a chance to move up. America is a miracle country, and we have to restore the sense that the miracle will apply to you. Each and every one of the people in this country who's watching tonight, lift everybody, unite everybody, and build a stronger United States of America again. It will be and can be done.
Awesome. Good statement. I am not, I got to be honest with you. I'm trying to figure out how John Kasich made the big stage. He declared for the presidency. What was it? A week ago? How did he go from nowhere How did he go from nowhere to in the top 10 in a week? That's not done. Nobody knew who John Kasich was or is. Nobody has any idea who this guy is, which means that at some level, some of this is manipulated. Okay, so what we need is we need less of that. Now, there have been some people that are, giving Chris Wallace and Brett Baer and Megyn Kelly difficulty because they were harsh. That's their job. Okay? It's not. It was actually interesting. I thought that Brett Baer had a reverse Candy Crowley moment when he was talking to Donald Trump. He really gave Donald Trump the what for. And I thought it was perfectly fine. I didn't have any problems with it whatsoever, because it was a moderator forcing a candidate into more thought, to giving us more. That's okay. The problem that I have with Candy Crowley is when Candy Crowley helped the president or helped a candidate defeat somebody else. See, that's the problem with bias, one way or another. Okay, if you're biased right, people are going to doubt what your motives are when you're doing a debate. They're going to question, hey, no, wait a minute, you're supposed to be on our side. No, they're not. So what you have to do is you have to relax and take it easy. Let me get to Kurt in Bedford, Texas. Kurt, what do you think?
Well, I wanted to solve that mystery for you, how Kasich got in, if I may.
I'm in. Tell me.
Well, they had 5 polls that Fox was using, and then use an average thereof to get the top 10.
Right.
At the very end, they removed one of the polls and substituted it with another one, I believe a Quinnipiac, but I have to do more research on it, but I am sure of the first part. And that enabled Kasich to come in, who's I've nicknamed Twitchy.
Yeah.
And then that eliminated, that pushed Perry into the little kids table.
Yeah, what's the story with that? I mean, Rick Perry has the best Republican gubernatorial story to tell, and Mike Huckabee doesn't. Okay, and John Kasich doesn't. Right?
Quite right.
Now, I understand that John Kasich, listen, I get it and everything like that, but that manipulation has to stop, Kurt. We can't have the media telling us who we're going to vote for.
Well, they do, JD, and they do it in a subtle way.
Yeah, and they got to stop. Thanks, Kurt. Appreciate it. You're listening to the Wells Report.
Bill Bennett will bend over backwards to get new listeners.
Let's go to Wayne in Shenandoah, Virginia. What are you doing up? Why are you up?
I'm fixing to go to McDonald's and have coffee with about 14 other old men, and then we're going to go feed the cow.
Do those other guys listen to this show?
1 or 2.
Well, can we get those numbers up? I'll tell you what, I'll buy a round of coffee if you'll talk us up. I'll buy a round of coffee.
Bill Bennett's Morning in America, weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, Kurt Chase here. Buying a car can be a real pain. Walking on the dealership floor, being surrounded by all those hungry salespeople, your blood pressure and stress levels start to rise. And after you spend nearly all day at the dealership and it's all done, you never really feel like you got the best deal. Buying a car is a stressful experience, but it doesn't have to be that way. Tune in to the Automotive Edge radio show every Saturday, and I'll give you the inside scoop on buying your next vehicle. You don't want to miss it every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m.
Hey, when choosing a financial advisor, outstanding reputation, decades of experience, and a successful track record are very important. The good news is I have someone I would like for you to meet. Hey, Sean Hannity here from my friend Bob Guess at Texas First Financial. Now, Bob Guess is an author, a speaker, an educator who has taught at SMU and other prestigious campuses in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Now, with his experience and the help of his team, Bob's clients earn a 9% return on their investments. That's a 9% return backed 100% by hard assets and no market volatility. Now it's time you placed your investments with one of Texas Monthly's top advisors. Now I know attractive, predictable, stable returns on your investments are important to you. Call Bob and his team today at 972-570-4444. That's 972-570-4444 for 9% returns and no market risk. Now make sure you check him out yourself. Tell him Sean Hannity sent you.
This plan is not insurance and does not meet minimum credible coverage requirements under the Affordable Care Act. This discount card program contains a 30-day cancellation and refund period. Administrator and benefits limited, Dallas, Texas, not available in all states.
I'm a mother.
When my kids were growing up, I can't tell you how many times they had a cold, an ear, or sinus infection. I already knew it was the same thing one of the other kids had 3 months before. Could I get a doctor to call me at home? No, I had to take off work or worse, bundle all the other kids and go to the doctor's office. Well, not anymore. RealMedSavings.com is like a discount club for healthcare. At RealMedSavings.com, you just call the 800 number and a board-certified doctor calls you back in about 15 minutes, talks to you about what it is, and then calls in a prescription if it's needed. You pay nothing for this doctor's call because you're a member of the club. RealMedSavings.com is not insurance, just real savings on everyday medical problems for your whole family. Go to RealMedSavings.com. Save money and time. RealMedSavings.com. It's worth going there.
Finally, the rain appears to be over and summer is upon us. The recent rains have caused the clay soil to expand and raise some homes with foundation problems, making them appear to be fixed. I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Listen, heavy rain swelling the clay soil and raising homes with foundation problems is like pumping air into a tire with a slow leak. It may look like the tire is fixed, but it is still leaking air and will eventually go flat again. If you think this might be happening with your home, call Structured Foundation Repairs today for a free, comprehensive evaluation of your foundation. We'll let you know if you have a foundation problem or if you're just experiencing normal seasonal movement. We'll also check to see if you have a drainage problem around your home and make recommendations if the drainage should be improved. We're fully insured and our peers come back by a lifetime transferable warranty. So if you have questions about your foundation or think you might have a drainage problem, call Structured Foundation Repairs today at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
Hi, folks. Alan Thicke here. You know, some things in life are just too serious to take chances on, and owing money to the IRS is definitely one of those. The IRS has the power to garnish your paycheck. They can levy your bank account, even take your home or business. Seriously. Thankfully, with one simple call, you can start solving your tax debt once and for all. Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm in the nation. They have over 250 professionals. They have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau and the trust of thousands of satisfied clients. Optima's attorneys can immediately protect you from aggressive collections because they are experts in the Fresh Start Initiative. That's a special IRS debt forgiveness program that could save you thousands. Don't wait till it's too late. Get serious. Call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. 800-711-5743. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
Yeah! You are listening to the Wells Report. It was a good night for America. This was really a good night for America. I am so glad. I am so glad we have such a great group of Republican candidates. You know, nobody can say that the Republicans are just a bunch of old white guys. I mean, we covered all of it tonight. And what about the next debate? Carly Fiorina is going to be up there. See, that's what I'd kind of like to know. Of the people, if you watched both debates, and I know this is that's asking a lot. That's 3 hours of politics. But if you watched both debates, who do you think, or maybe if you just saw the primetime debate, who on the primetime stage needs to go down to the kids' table? And who from the kids' table needs to go up? If I could do anything, I would say Jindal needs to move up. Fiorina definitely needs to move up. Perry needs to move up. Those are the three. Who should come down? Who should come down from the main stage?
Carson.
Ben Carson, you think? Really? Okay. Who else?
Kasich.
Kasich had a pretty good moment tonight, but nobody knows who he is. And besides, if Fox News fudged the journalism getting him into that thing, then yeah, maybe he ought to try to work his way up from the B squad. You know, I hate to say it that way. You know what they ought to do is they ought to have the top 10 and the bottom 10. Right? Just put 10 and 10. Or excuse me, I'm sorry, it would be they're 17, so it would be well, I guess it would have to stay 10-7. But that being said, whatever. That being said, so Kasich goes down, Ben Carson goes down. Who else do you think should go to the second group?
I think Huckabee.
Think Huckabee? You know what I think? I think we ought to take Jindal, and I think we ought to take, because he's a governor that needs to be up there in the big table because he was great tonight. We need to take the two governors. We need to take Governor Perry and Governor Jindal, and we need to take Carly Fiorina to the big stage. And we need to let some, and that's what we need to do. This was a good way to start it. Okay, now let's work trying to get this thing done somehow. I mean, it's either that or put them all up on the same stage and just have a great big long debate. I don't know which is better. I think that what they've done here. Now, let me ask you another question. Do we need to have another debate before the primary season starts? They're talking about doing another debate, at the Reagan Library. Do we really need to do that? If we do that, I want to hear from everybody on the same stage. I don't care if it's 3 hours. That's what they need to do. And they need to get off the back of these Fox moderators. Man, the Twitter sphere is like tearing these people up. I'll never listen to Megyn Kelly again. Stop it. Stop it. That's what responsible journalism looks like. Okay? You don't save a candidate. You make them think. You ask them tough questions. That is what you're supposed to do. Somebody who does something else is either a propagandist or a press secretary. So let's get back to some of the debate answers. Scott Walker stepped up and started talking about creating jobs for Americans. This is what he said voters in Wisconsin did.
Well, the voters in Wisconsin elected me last year for the third time because they wanted someone who aimed high, not aimed low. Before I came in, the unemployment rate was over 8%. It's now down to 4.6%. We've more than made up for the jobs that were lost during the recession. And the rate in which people are working is almost 5 points higher than it is nationally. People like Hillary Clinton think you grow the economy by growing Washington. One report last year showed that 6 of the top 10 wealthiest counties in America were in or around Washington, D.C. I think most of us in America understand that people, not the government, creates jobs. And one of the best things we can do is get the government out of the way, repeal Obamacare, rein in all the out-of-control regulations, put in place an all-the-above energy policy, give people the education and skills that they need to succeed, and lower the tax rate and reform the tax code. That's what I'll do as president, just like I did in Wisconsin.
Real good. Now we know why he's been close to the top, if not the front runner, this whole time. Okay? Very clean, very clear, very federal.
Clear and concise.
Very federal, too. He's saying there are things the states do. There are things the federal government does. The federal government doesn't need to do the state's work. Boy, if we can get this government, this federal government under control and actually unlock the power of state economies, we've already shown it. Rick Perry, like him, dislike him, he has shown that is the way you do business. The country having the toughest time in a long, long time, but Texas kicking butt. Why? Because the government stays out of the way. That's why. If we could get that again for the federal government, just like when Ronald Reagan took over, it took him a couple of years, took him 3 years to get it done. And then whoosh. So Marco Rubio stepped up to the microphones, looked like he was in command the whole night. I could only see him talking. I couldn't hear what he had to say. Marco Rubio stepped up and talked about easing restraints on small business.
First of all, it begins by having leaders that recognize that the economy we live in today is dramatically different from the one we had 5 years ago. It's an economy that now has placed us in global competition with dozens of other countries around the world. Now, the big companies that have connections with Washington, they can affect policies to help them. But the small companies like the one Tanya's talking about, they're the ones that are struggling. The first thing we need to do is we need to even out the tax code for small businesses so that we lower their tax rate to 25%, just as we need to lower it for all businesses. We need to have a regulatory budget in America that limits the amount of regulations on our economy. We need to repeal and replace Obamacare, and we need to improve higher education so that people can have access to the skills they need for 21st century jobs. And last but not least, we need to repeal Dodd-Frank. It is eviscerating small businesses and small banks. Over 40% of small and mid-sized banks that loan money to small businesses have been wiped out since Dodd-Frank has passed. We need to repeal and replace Dodd-Frank. We need to make America fair again for all businesses, but especially those being run by small business owners.
I love listening to him. I love listening to him talk. His oratorical style, oratory. Yes, his oratorical style. I got it right the first time. I was just checking. Now go ahead and hit the dump button so I don't sound like a blithering. You're not going to hit the dump button so that
We're ready to believe you.
Not. Okay. So anyway, his oratorical style is really good. He's got a very distinct rhythm in the way he speaks. He tells his story, and he does it very, very well. But not only does he tell a good story, he's got a good story to tell. He knows what he's talking about. He's got
His name is Marco, not Mario Rubio.
Yeah, I know. Did I call him Mario tonight?
No, but you've done in the past.
I know I have. I know. Wow. You know, this has been like, I'm beginning to feel like Megyn Kelly taking out Donald Trump. He's my technical director. He's like in my face all night. What the hell? And then Rand Paul. Rand Paul is a guy who really did himself well tonight. I really do. I really do believe that Rand Paul did very well tonight. He's another one of the guys that really moved up the scale a little bit here. Okay? No doubt about it. Here's what he had to say regarding tearing up the Iran deal day one.
I oppose the Iranian deal and will vote against it. I don't think that the president negotiated from a position of strength, but I don't immediately discount negotiations. I'm a Reagan conservative. Reagan did negotiate with the Soviets, but you have to negotiate from a position of strength, and I think President Obama gave away too much too early. If there's going to be a negotiation, you're going to have to believe somehow that the Iranians are going to comply. And I asked this question to John Kerry. I said, do you believe they're trustworthy? And he said, no. And I said, well, how are we going to get them to comply? I would have never released the sanctions before there was consistent evidence of compliance.
You know, it sounds so basic, doesn't it? Until you start following the rules, I'm not releasing the sanctions. Every other day, we keep hearing about how the Iranians are running circles around this entire deal. I mean, I know the president's invested in it. I know that John the Stupid Kerry, somewhere in the vestiges of his dysfunctional mind, realizes that something important is going on, and he was there, and something happened, and while he knows he's supposed to support it, something about it really bothers him. In other words, he thinks about it about like my dog Holly thinks about it. What about these side deals? I don't know. I haven't read them. What? You're the lead negotiator for the United States. You don't have anything about, you have no idea what these side deals are. No. Okay. All right. Good. That's real good. Yeah. This Iranian deal, these guys have so fumbled it. There's no way the Congress can pass this. No way at all. And what the Democrats need to do, by the way, we just heard that Charles Schumer is not going to vote for the deal. So Charles Schumer, that's a big voice, and that's a big voice on Capitol Hill. Okay? Charles Schumer is going to vote against this deal. If indeed the deal is voted against and, oh, by the way, by a veto-proof majority, then it's going to be because Chuck Schumer decided that it was a bad deal. And he's right. There's no way. And then this is not the fault of the Congress. For those people who would like to say that the Republicans are all responsible for trying to run the president off the road, I should have asked Daniel about this. For those people who believe that it's the Republicans trying to run the president off the road on this Iran deal, there are plenty of Democrats that are begging that this deal not pass because they're worried about it. They're going to take hits politically, but it's even bigger than that. The president has backed himself into a corner on this Iran deal. There should have never been any side deals that the United States was not privy to. That's a deal breaker. Because it is. How can you agree to this? How could John Kerry agree? How could he affix his name to this flipping agreement without knowing what was in it? Is that some kind of joke? Seriously? Seriously, John? Is that some kind of joke?
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Yeah. There you go. This is a government strategy. I'll tell you what we do. Let's let other people in the world negotiate what we are going to pass as laws without actually knowing what any of those laws are. And then if someone disagrees, we'll tell them that they're bigots and jerks and rotten people that are just partisan idiots that don't have a clue. You know, I tickled myself when I said that because that's kind of what they're doing, isn't it? Isn't that what they're doing? They're actually doing that. Whoa. Whoa. All right. Our telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. If you got something to say, you got to hurry. Because if you don't have something to say, then I've got something that I've got to say, and it'll probably take the rest of the next segment. So if you got something you got to say, you better call us. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. I'm very happy. I'm very happy about this. I'm really glad that America had this night. I hope that people that didn't pay attention tonight pay attention tomorrow, because they're going to learn something about this great land we live in. This is the Wells Report.
Sean Hannity believes the establishment GOP is the reason why Donald Trump has risen in the polls.
That's what this has become, a weak and timid and visionless Washington Republican establishment. And it's now hit a tipping point. Dovetails perfectly into an analysis of why you see the meteoric rise of Donald Trump.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
How will the future affect the money decisions you make now? Find out Saturday morning with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell on Smart Money. Smart Money will bring you the latest information regarding financial markets and what it means to you and your investment and retirement portfolio. Not knowing could be costly. Smart Money, a voice of experience and integrity, with Jerry Tuma and John Criswell. Saturday mornings at 8 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Today, let's talk about the $29 service call gimmick. Here in North Texas, an experienced service tech costs at least $35 an hour to employ. So how does a $29 service call work? Well, it doesn't unless they find a bunch of stuff wrong with your system. It's just bait to get you to call. We can't come out for $29, and really, neither can they. In this business, you get what you pay for. Reliant Air Conditioning service call is $79, and our guys are all drug tested, background checked, and they don't work on commission. So if you need service on your AC system, call the company that's been gimmick-free since '83. Or if your system needs to be replaced, you can save up to $3,500 per system with Carrier's Cool Cash promotion. Our number is 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437 or ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hey, it's August. It is by far the hottest month of the year in Texas. Now, the question here is, what are you going to do about it? Hi, Dave Trainer from the Window Connection. August can be really, really tough on all of us. Do you know there's an affordable solution to that problem? It's replacement windows. Pulling out the metal and glass that are conducting heat right through to the house and putting in something vinyl that has lower conductivity and real heat reflective capabilities. What all of us need is to just be a little bit more comfortable, and you can have that with the quality replacement window. Hi, I'm Dave Trainer of the Window Connection. I would sure welcome the opportunity to come visit with you, have a look at your house, see if there's anything special that I could recommend that might help you get through this tough month of August.
Call the Window Connection for an estimate at 972-620-1994. That's 972-620-1994. Or go online to thewindowconnection.net.
I had the home of my dreams, but one day I noticed cracks in the wall by the front door as well as the kitchen window. A neighbor recommended Abacus Foundation Repair. He said they're the best foundation repair company in Dallas, and they use an advanced system on your foundation called Millennium Composite Pilings that'll last 1,000 years. Well, I went to their website, abacusfoundationrepair.com, and saw that they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, and the world's leading service company review website recommended them highly. And the best part? They haven't had a complaint in the last 13 years. So I called them, and I'm happy I did. Abacus Foundation Repair guaranteed their work, and they gave me a lifetime transferable warranty.
If you see cracks in the walls of your home or your doors don't shut properly, call Abacus Foundation Repair at 972-406-9000. That's 972-406-9000. Or go to abacusfoundationrepair.com. If you want your foundation fixed right the first time, call Abacus Foundation Repair.
Lads, clearing out weeds is all about give and take. Hello, this is Scott for Scots. And what I mean is, you want to take those pesky weeds out, but to keep them out, you need to give your grass something in return, which is exactly what Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed does. It kills weeds while it feeds in thick and dure grass to help crowd out future invasions. To learn more about Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, go to scotts.com. Weed your lawn and feed it.
The holiday concert of the year is returning to Dallas December 6th at American Airlines Center. Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops together again on stage performing holiday classics. Dallas's newest holiday tradition will fill American Airlines Center with the holiday spirit. Sunday, December 6th, Michael W. Smith and Amy Grant with the Dallas Pops at American Airlines Center. Tickets on sale now online at Ticketmaster.com by calling 800-745-3000 or at the American Airlines Center box office.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I'm cutting up audio. What?
I want you to stop cutting up audio. I want you to listen.
I'm a machine.
You are a machine, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, when you have a show like this, there is a professional that is doing the show you're about to do while you're doing a show that you have to do at that particular moment. It is insanely difficult. It requires being able to listen to the show while you're building the pieces for the next show. It takes an insane level of skill and multitasking capability, all of which are possessed by the executive producer of the Wells Report, Vicki Steiner.
Oh, you're so nice. Thank you.
You did a great job.
Well, I appreciate it. It was hard, but it was worth it.
I'm going to say something that's going to sound a little bit weird, okay? But, I worked really, really hard to get really, really good at all the things that you've done tonight so beautifully and so perfectly. I worked really hard at it, harder than any of my contemporaries, and I've never seen anybody that could do it. until I started working with you.
Oh, thank you so much.
You are the best executive producer in the business. Her name is Vicki Steifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells, and what was a good night for America. Thanks very much for listening to this edition of the Wells Report.
We all know life can get crazy and you're not always near a radio. But one thing is for sure, your phone goes everywhere with you. And now we can too. Download the 660 AM The Answer app to your phone and listen live wherever you go. If you miss any of the Mark Davis Show or the Wells Report, you can catch up whenever, wherever. Plus, dial the 660 AM The Answer studio directly from the app. And it's free. We make it easy to stay connected. Download our app now. 660 AM The Answer.
20 plus years of unemployment. That's what retirement is or should be, but imagine still working when you're 75 because you didn't have an exit plan for the next stock market crash. If you think your current plan has too much risk, listen to Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Sundays at 11 a.m. on 660 AM The Answer. Rick and Kevin will tell you the truth about the financial world we live in. No one knows when the next correction will be. So listen to Plain Talk No Worries with Rick Foster and Kevin Christ Sundays at 11 a.m. on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Got a question. Why is your mobile phone bill going to help Hillary become president of the United States? Answer is, same reason Big Mobile helped Obama win twice. It's what they do. Now Hillary's counting on Big Mobile to help her in 2016. If you're okay with that, don't listen further. But if you don't want to support Hillary or other leftist candidates and causes, switch to EOS Mobile. EOS Mobile. Website is EOScell, EOScell.com to learn more. EOS has the same great nationwide network, high-speed data, voice, pretty much everywhere across the country. EOS has the same devices you've come to love. And with plans starting at $9.99, a plan for every budget. But best of all, EOS Mobile at EOScell.com gives 5% of each bill to conservative causes and candidates. If you're stuck in a contract, they'll buy you out. If you want your phone bill to support conservative candidates, the choice is clear. EOScell.com. Learn more now at EOScell.com. EOScell.com. Same phones, same service, better causes. EOScell.com. EOScell.com.
The founder of Lumber Liquidators has returned and is taking us back to basics so you can get the best selection of quality hardwood at the best price. This week, get clearance deals on pre-finished hardwood starting at $129. Hand-scraped tobacco road acacia for much less than what you'd pay elsewhere. More from 59 cents and 18 months financing.
Hi, I'm Tom Sullivan. I started Lumber Liquidators over 20 years ago with the basic idea, cutting out the middleman, just good wood at a good price.
Sales going on now. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
This is 660 AM The Answer, a service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Baltimore Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM The Answer.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Steve Rappaport. Republican presidential hopefuls rumble in prime time.
I built a net worth of more than $10 billion. I have a great company. I employ thousands of people.
Frontrunner Donald Trump making his case in a Fox News Facebook debate. Trump wasn't the only tough talker on stage.